Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Before I share what we're doing to improve the tax process for New Yorkers, I want to continue to speak to the winter weather that impacts our city. We are now in our 12th day of this cold snap. Throughout it all, city workers have worked tirelessly on behalf of their fellow New Yorkers. Outreach teams have traversed the city, making every possible effort to bring vulnerable and homeless New Yorkers in from the cold. We have now made more than 980 placements into shelters and safe havens since Monday the 19th. The number of New Yorkers who have passed away during this code blue remains at 16. That does not mean that the danger, however, has passed. If you see someone in need, please call 311. Outreach workers and first responders from NYPD and FDNY will respond and get those New Yorkers the help that they need. In addition to everything being done by those workers and those first responders, DSNY workers, New York's strongest, continue their work. They have now cleared over 52,000 crosswalks, over 11,000 fire hydrants, and more than 17,000 bus stops. Operations continue around the clock. They have melted more than 150 million pounds of snow across our 5 boroughs and laid more than 200 million pounds of salt. Those same sanitation workers have also been collecting residential trash across the 5 boroughs. Every day, residents across our city set out about 24 million pounds of trash, recycling, and compostable material at the curb. New Yorkers will be able to expect that their trash will be picked up on their scheduled collection day. We are 1 day behind schedule in terms of recycling collection. This cold is going to endure, and so too will our efforts. I will continue to keep New Yorkers updated over the days ahead. Now, it is a pleasure to be here at one of our great New York City Health and Hospitals location, and to be here with so many New Yorkers who dedicate themselves to bettering the lives of their neighbors. I stand here alongside not only our council member, Harvey Epstein, apologies, as well as in front of our Manhattan Borough President, Brad Hoylman Siegel, as well as in front of Bishop Mitchell Taylor. And I want to say thank you as well to Michelle Lewis and Gotham Health for hosting us here today. I also stand here alongside a former colleague of mine who was doing tax preparation a long time ago. Good to see you, my friend. Tax season is upon us. For so many New Yorkers, a feeling of nagging dread begins to intensify as the April 15th deadline nears. Even now, in early February, I know that pressure is beginning to mount. It is not only the pressure of making sure you include every piece of information, but it's the worry that how much you might owe, whether the refund you may or may not receive can cover part of the rent bill for the month to come, and how much it'll cost just to get through that paperwork. And in a city where a dignified life is already hard enough to afford, where the cost of rent and childcare and transit feel insurmountable to so many, a few added dollars can make all the difference. That is why we are here together today to spread the word about New York City Free Tax Prep Program, which delivers relief to working people across the entirety of the city. This is a program that helps New Yorkers file their taxes for free, keep every dollar that they've earned, and avoid the predatory fees that proliferate throughout so much of the tax industry. Nearly half of all New Yorkers are eligible. If your family earned up to $97,000, or if you're an individual who earned $68,000 in 2025, I encourage you to sign up for this program. Last year, this program saved New Yorkers $38.2 million on 110,000 cost-free returns, or $346 per return. That is measured in 110,000 households who found it a little easier to afford groceries, to pay their bills, to make rent. There are over 140 locations across the city that can help with your specialized tax needs year-round. Some of these can be found in health system sites, including New York City Health and Hospitals locations, just like this one, because we know that financial counseling does not only affect financial health, it also makes a lasting difference in overall health outcomes as well. I encourage every New Yorker to head to nyc.gov/tax prep. I know that's probably a website you never want to type in, but this will be one that can actually help make this a period that is far less stressful than what it has been. Because what this website will show you is how this program can make a difference for you. And it isn't only this website and the information about it that is the example of the work we're doing to reform and improve the tax process for New Yorkers. because free tax prep only works if people are being protected from being ripped off. Since we took office 34 days ago, I have stood alongside Department of Consumer and Worker Protection Commissioner Sam Levine time and again as we have enacted an agenda to protect working families. We've stood up for delivery workers whose pay has been systematically stolen by the companies that employ them. We've targeted junk fees that bloat New Yorkers' rent payments, gym memberships, concert tickets, hotel costs, created a citywide junk fee task force, and gone after the subscription tricks and traps, leaking money from your accounts. Today, we are taking that work one step further. As part of our push to make the tax process easier and more transparent, DCWP will crack down on the exorbitant charges and deceptive practices that too often define the paid tax industry. DCWP will lead an aggressive citywide enforcement program, inspecting in-person tax preparation locations and sending warnings as well to tax preparers, so we can put a stop to the unfair fees and sketchy loans fleecing honest New Yorkers. There are many honest accountants in this city. A few of them are actually my friends. They serve their clients with integrity. DCWP are not going after those who employ fair business practices. Rather, they will target those who use slippery and deceitful tactics to rip New Yorkers off and to increase the characterization of those New Yorkers of taxes as a time of immense stress. Taken together, these efforts represent more than a commitment to lightening the stress that too many New Yorkers feel, or taking an anxiety-inducing process and making it a little less complicated. They are proof that government can directly improve people's lives, and that the people of this city can turn to City Hall and expect change that carries a tangible impact. We will measure their success when New Yorkers receive thousands of dollars in refunds, when our neighbors are no longer ripped off, and when the feared tax process inspires just a little less dread. And I want to end by saying this. I remember as an assembly member representing Astoria and Long Island City that I would take a walk with Bishop Taylor as we walked through my district, and I learned about the ways in which this kind of work was transformative in bringing dollars back into the pockets of working class New Yorkers. And now, as I stand here before you as the mayor, I am proud to be building on that incredible work that has already been done for so many years, and now ensuring that this is something that so many more New Yorkers can experience as simply a fact of their life. With that, I'm going to pass it over to our commissioner, Sam Levine.
Thank you, Mayor. It's so great to be here. This is a really exciting day.
Love you too. Thank you.
They're all excited to save money on tax prep. Every year, the typical New Yorker pays about $377 we're projecting this year in fees just to file their taxes. And that fee is its own kind of tax, cutting into for what many New Yorkers is their biggest paycheck of the year, their tax refund. And this year, with the Trump administration having shut down the direct file option, New Yorkers could face even higher costs just to claim money they've already earned. The initiative we're announcing today protects New Yorkers from the shadow tax hike. Here with our partner, Health and Hospitals, we're excited to kick off the NYC Free Tax Prep Program to help New Yorkers get their full refund for free. Each year, our Department of Consumer and Worker Protection partners with IRS-certified volunteer tax preparers at organizations across the 5 boroughs, I see some of them here, including Bishop Taylor, to provide free, accurate, and professional tax preparation services to tens of thousands of New Yorkers. If you made, I'm going to repeat what the mayor said, if you made $97,000 or less as a family, or $68,000 as an individual or couple without children or dependents, you are eligible to take advantage of NYC free tax prep and avoid all of those junk fees and claim all the tax credits you're owed. Let me translate that. Nearly half of New Yorkers can file their taxes for free. Last year alone, NYC Free Tax Prep helped complete more than 110,000 returns and save New Yorkers more than $38 million in fees. This year, under the mayor's leadership, we are aiming to grow that figure significantly and save New Yorkers tens of millions of dollars at a time when every dollar counts. And critically, New Yorkers can say goodbye to fees without sacrificing quality. We offer professional IRS-certified volunteer tax preparers to make sure you claim every credit you're entitled to. That's especially important this year, This tax season comes with major changes, including the phasing out of paper checks for refunds, an expansion of Empire State Child Credit, and other changes that can make a huge difference for households. Last year, a mom in the Bronx was able to catch up on bills, groceries, and household necessities and clothes for her 2 young daughters after receiving more than $14,000 in her refund, including from the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Child Tax Credit. She has used NYC free tax prep for years to avoid the high fees that others charge and make sure she's getting the full refund she's entitled to. New Yorkers deserve to claim these credits, and with their professional, trusted services available remotely and in person, eligible New Yorkers can file safely, confidently, and for free. And that is not the only good news this tax season. Alongside our launch of NYC Free Tax Prep, today we are also announcing a crackdown on predatory tax preparers who use junk fees and deceptive practices to exploit the people of the city. In response to the mayor's executive order targeting junk fees across our economy, DCWP is accelerating enforcement this tax season. We're deploying inspectors across New York to ensure tax preparers are following the law. We're issuing warning letters reminding preparers of the city's ban on illegal overcharging and hidden fees, and we're urging New Yorkers to ask your preparer for the Consumer Bill of Rights before paying anyone to file your taxes. If you think your rights are being violated, please let us know by going to nyc.gov/DCWP. For New Yorkers who pay to file their taxes, we're committed to ensuring you don't get ripped off. But I can't emphasize enough that the best way to not get ripped off is to use these free services. We now have more than 140 sites across the city that offer flexible options to meet your need, including specialized tax prep to assist self-employed individuals and small businesses. These services are tailored to the needs of gig workers, whether it's delivery workers, freelancers, small business owners, folks who often face hurdles to filing taxes and managing their record keeping. The City of New York is here to help. Please visit nyc.gov/taxprep. Look at our map for locations and details. The deadline to file a tax return for 2025 is April 15th, 2026. But NYC Free Tax Prep operates year-round. So if you missed the deadline or if you need help with returns from the past 3 years, New York City is here to help. This is what affordability looks like in practice. Fewer junk fees, exceptional public services, and more money in New Yorkers' pockets. Now to tell you more about this exciting program, it's my honor to introduce our Chief Population Health Officer, Dr. Nicola Davis.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It's an honor to be joined today by Mayor Zoran Mamdani. Your fight for affordability in New York City is at the core of our mission here at New York City Health and Hospitals. And thank you also to Commissioner Levine for your work to uplift financial empowerment for New Yorkers and for the ongoing commitment to partnership with New York City Health and Hospitals. At New York City Health and Hospitals, we know that health happens before a patient comes to the clinic and after the patient leaves the clinic. We know that health happens in their home, in their grocery stores, and also in their bank accounts. Financial stress is a major impact on mental health. It is a major impact that can lead to anxiety, sleepless nights, and it also can raise the risk of heart disease. So as a primary care doctor, I know that if a patient has to decide between affording food or medications, their health is going to suffer. As the largest safety net healthcare provider in New York City, we are dedicated to providing the highest quality healthcare services for all New Yorkers. And we provide that with compassion, dignity, and respect. And it is irregardless of immigration status or ability to pay. As the Chief Population Health Officer, my job is to reduce the barriers to health. We aim to remove those barriers. And by providing New York City free tax prep services where New Yorkers already receive their health care, We are treating financial insecurity as a public health priority. We started with a single free tax prep site in 2018. I am so proud to share that we have scaled this partnership with New York City Free Tax Prep to 15 locations across our health system. Thank you in particular to one of those 15 sites, which is Gouverneur, for holding this event today and ensuring access to New York City free tax prep services for communities in the Lower East Side. We aren't just a hospital system. We are a community anchor, and we can't do this work alone. Many thanks to the years of partnership with the New York City Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, as well as our community-based partners, Grow Brooklyn, Arriva, Bronx Works, and Urban Upbound. By hosting certified tax preparers at New York City Health and Hospitals and Metro Plus health sites, we make it easy for a patient to get their checkup and their taxes all in one trip. In 2025, our health and hospitals and Metro Plus health tax prep sites alone served nearly 3,500 New Yorkers, helping them secure millions in federal and state refunds. These are real dollars. Refunds with tax credits can often be the biggest influx of income each year for low-income New Yorkers. The average New Yorker pays $346 just to file their taxes. By making it free, we're making it easier for them to afford other day-to-day necessities. So don't wait. Make an appointment to get help filing your tax return before April 15th. We are here at New York City Health and Hospitals to help you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will turn it over to Jessarica. How you doing? How you doing? My name is Jessarica Prem. Before I get started, I'd like to thank Council, I'm sorry, my first time doing this.
You're doing great.
Okay, Mayor Mamdani and Councilman Livingston and the Bishop, CEO, Mr. Teller. I'm a tax preparer. I've been here for 4 years doing taxes. We change people's lives. People come in and they be very happy with their outcome. And they be like, how much you charge? I'll say, we don't charge, we're free. We're a nonprofit organization, you know, so they always ask me like, how much? I'm like, it's free. They'd be surprised, but I love working with the company. We've been growing big numbers for a long time now. The company been around for like 20 years. I even try to bring my family in so they can do their taxes. They was calling me around the tax time. I'm like, is it time to time? Not yet, it's almost there. But I'm just so happy to be part of this organization and to be part of this and make a difference in the community. Thank you so much.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, people of Gouverneur. Afternoon. So my name is Harvey Epstein. I'm the council member for District 2. I'm fortunate to work a lot with Bellevue. Nothing against Gouverneur. I love Bellevue too. But this is a really important time of the year for New Yorkers. People are stressed out, anxious about what those tax returns will look like, the costs associated. Many New Yorkers are making choices between paying their taxes, figuring out food, rent, overall costs. Real opportunity. Really want to thank the mayor, the commissioner, deputy mayor, and H&H for their leadership here. This citywide effort for over 100,000 New Yorkers. What are we going to double it, triple it? What are we going to do, right? What are we going to try? Tell New Yorkers, everyone you know, this is an opportunity for people who are low income to come get free tax preparer help. Earned income tax credits, can be just $2,300 a month for a family. Yeah, that's an opportunity. Getting voluntary tax assistance is a real change for people's lives. We heard from the mayor and the commissioner about all these hidden fees that people have, and we know everyone who's been afflicted by these issues, not just in the tax preparer industry, industry after industry. This is an opportunity to tell people, let's avoid those fees and make sure that people can actually get their full refund and be able to do that to serve their family. We know people are struggling. I know the mayor talked earlier about the weather, but it affects costs too, because energy costs go up, electric costs go up, utilities are rising every single day. If we help people put a little more money in their pocket, that'll make New Yorkers' lives a little better. I want to thank the mayor and the commissioner for cracking down on some of these illegal activities that are going on in the city. I'm really proud to stand here with the commissioner and the mayor at H&H to talk about how we need to expand this program, make it better for consumers, and make sure we crack down on those illegal activities going on in New York City. This is an opportunity to talk about affordability. The mayor does it every single day. We need to make sure that people hear this message and know affordability comes in different shapes and forms and sizes. This is one critical component. I want to thank you for letting me be here.
Two questions about the program first. Any on topics? Yeah, Kelly, go ahead.
Hi, Mr. Mayor.
Hi, Kelly. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to ask you, this program started under the previous administration. Is that an acknowledgement that he was helping when it comes to affordability and that he was doing his part to help New Yorkers when it comes to making sure they can afford to live in the city?
Look, I think before I was the mayor, before I was an assembly member, I was a foreclosure prevention housing counselor at Chaya CDC. And when I was at Chaya with a few of my colleagues who are here today, one of my fondest recollections was the many different services that were provided, and tax prep was one of those services. And I think that we are proud of this city's history in the way in which it has stepped up to help working people. We know, however, that there is far more work to be done. This continues to be the most expensive city in the United States of America. And we know that while we are proud of having served 110,000 households in the previous iteration of this, about half of New Yorkers are eligible for this. So that means there are still far more New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs who have yet to hear about this. And I think, as you were saying in your own work, the initial response is surely this can't be free. For many New Yorkers, it feels as if this is the scam, when in reality, the scam has been the many fees that they've been forced to pay time and time again. So I think it's our job to utilize every single tool that we have. And I'm thankful that we have with us here civic leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, healthcare leaders who can help us to share this across the 5 boroughs.
There's a special election. You supported candidate Diana Moreno. How are you feeling about somebody else taking your seat? And do you feel if she wins, it's great political capital when it comes to your ability to support candidates in races?
I am very proud to be supporting Diana Moreno and supporting her record of having fought for workers' rights, for immigrants, also for focusing on the need for universal childcare across the city. And, Astoria and Long Island City hold a very special place in my heart. And I think that she is exactly the right person to continue that legacy of fighting for working people.
About the program? Yeah, go ahead.
For New Yorkers that don't have a bank account, and now it's paperless, how will they get that money and can they turn it into cash?
So our city also helps New Yorkers with setting up those bank accounts. We want to be there for New Yorkers at multiple steps of the process. I'm going to have the commissioner just add a few points on that.
I believe that there is also an option in order to get checks. I'm looking for our folks in the back, but I believe if you work with NYC Free Tax Prep, and I see Bishop Taylor nodding, and he's really the authority on this, we can, notwithstanding the federal policy, we can work with New Yorkers to get them checks.
All right. Other questions? Yeah, Morgan.
Hi, Mr. Mayor.
Hi, Morgan. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to get your take on the, I know you said yesterday about the sanctuary, President Donald Trump's deadline for sanctuary cities, pulling federal funding. Have you spoken with the president on this issue?
So I keep the conversations between the president and myself private. What I will tell you, however, is I've been very clear on the fact that our city's values, our city's laws, those are not bargaining chips. We will stand up and we will defend them. And I think too often, frankly, the conversation around sanctuary city policies, it does not acknowledge the fact that these are policies in place to keep New Yorkers safe. We often hear the justification of public safety as to why these policies should be attacked, when in fact these are policies that used to be defended by Republicans and Democrats for decades. And so I'm proud to defend these policies, and I'm proud to also make clear to New Yorkers that we will defend you no matter where you were born, no matter which borough you call home, no matter where you come from, because you're a New Yorker. And that applies to the services that we're speaking about and also just our stance in general.
Separately, on the $12 billion budget gap, Governor Kathy Hochul last week said the city comptroller should have been a watchdog in this issue. Have you rethought your endorsement of Brad Lander in his congressional race, considering he didn't raise more alarm bells to you about this $12 billion budget deficit?
I continue to be proud of my endorsement of former Controller Brad Lander. I think that he is exactly the kind of person who should continue to be a leader in this city. And what I will say is that time and again, you could find, whether it be journalists like those who are in this room or the past controller's reports, there were a number of clear and public citations of the city's fiscal straits. What there wasn't, however, is City Hall's acknowledgement of that. And so while we came into office expecting to see difficult financial conditions, what we did not expect to see was that these estimates were very much the ones that we would be in line with.
Go ahead.
Hi, Mayor. How you
Hey,
doing, sir?
how you doing?
You met with Jabez's family last night and made a number of promises on social media last night. I wanted to follow up on those. First and foremost, and I do have two questions, but I'll ask them one at a time.
Thank you.
Have you seen the body camera footage that we will all see later today, according to your promise, and what do you think of it?
So I'll just first address this at large, then I'll go into some of your specific questions. So over the weekend, as you said, I spoke with the Chakraborty family and I visited Jabez in the hospital. And there is no family should have to endure this kind of pain. Jabez has lived with schizophrenia for many years, and this situation underscores just how urgently we need a different and more effective mental health response system that will be safer for New Yorkers who struggle with mental health concerns, for their families, and for police officers. Jabez needs mental health treatment, not criminal prosecution by a district attorney. And that is why I proposed creating a Department of Community Safety to build a mental health system rooted in prevention, in sustained care, in real crisis response, so officers no longer have to handle these situations alone. While we have been developing this implementation plan, I have told my administration to speed up this work. An NYPD investigation into this incident is underway. And as you said, my administration will be releasing the body-worn camera footage from the first responding officers later today. And I've seen that footage, and shortly New Yorkers will be able to themselves. Your second question, yeah.
Follow up, sir. You said you would now expedite the implementation of the Department of Community Safety. When it comes to crisis response, under your new Department of Community Safety, there's a call, someone with a knife, mental health condition. What does that look like as far as a response in your Department of Community Safety?
So we are actively exploring many policy options with the North Star of keeping everyone safe. That includes the affected individual, the family, police officers, any other responding city personnel. And what these policy options include are various co-response models involving teams of behavioral health specialists, peer experts, and of course police, so that they can intervene when the need arises. As I've said, when there is a violent situation, such as with a weapon, NYPD will be on the scene.
Thanks, Henry. Other questions? Yeah, so Haley and Josie.
Two questions. On the police shooting from last month, the Chakraborty family said that police asked them immigration-related questions and seized their phones while responding to the 911 call. And while responding to the 911 call and their son. Have you confirmed that they were actually asked those immigration-related questions, and why would police be doing that?
So that investigation is underway. I'll have more to share when it's finished.
Later today, for timing on that?
No, that investigation continues. The later today is the release of the body camera footage.
Got it. And then the second one, you said in your statement last night that you wanted to build the Department of Community Safety so police aren't responding to crises alone. Your campaign plan for DCS says that you want to end co-response teams. Can you provide clarity on what the teams responding to mental health calls will actually look like? And will co-response teams with police and mental health workers play any role?
So as I've said, when there is a violent situation, such as with a weapon, NYPD will be on the scene. And the North Star that we are building towards is one where every single person is safe. That includes the affected individual, that includes the family, that includes police officers, and that includes additional city personnel who are responding. This continues to be a focus for me because we know that our current response system is not one that is setting our city up for success. It is one that deeply needs to be changed, and that is exactly what we're focused on. Thank you.
One or two more. Josie and then NJ. Go ahead.
Hi, Mayor.
Hey, Justin, how are you?
The Chakraborty family put out a statement in response to yours last week, saying that they were really hurt by your applauding of the NYPD officers who responded to that. Do you regret putting out that statement, as you've now obviously changed course? And then my second question, you said you want to speed up creating this department. What avenues are you looking to do so through? Is it primarily through this legislation, or are there other avenues, and if so, what are they?
Okay. So I absolutely support Councilmember Ressler's bill to create the Department of Community Safety. And we are also exploring a myriad of additional options such that no matter the pursuit of the legislative creation of this department, it continues to be a possibility for us. And that is something that I'm confident of. That is also something that we will continue to keep New Yorkers aware of. And throughout all of this, as well as just in general, our focus is on transparency. It's on being clear with New Yorkers about the information that we have and looking to share that New Yorkers directly with them as well.
Regret your first statement.
I think he answered that question. NJ, go ahead.
Sir, does seeing the body cam video change or reinforce your initial concerns about the encounter?
My job as the mayor is to be straightforward with the New Yorkers and also to inform them of updates. And in meeting with the family, in visiting Jabez at the hospital, and in viewing this footage, it is clear to me that what Jabez needs is mental health treatment, not criminal prosecution from a district attorney. And we are talking about a family that is enduring the kind of pain that no family should, and an individual that has lived with schizophrenia for many years. And we have known of the need of a Department of Community Safety prior to this moment. This only highlights the urgency of that need and to be able to deliver it for New Yorkers.
So the outcome could have or
Can I get a
should have been
clarification
different.
about something,
I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Mayor?
Marshall. Let's make it really quick and then we do have to go.
I really need to have a clarification
Please.
about this. I know that you talk about the fact that the police can respond in these instances if there's a weapon. But in this case, there wasn't a knowledge that there would be a weapon. There was, the charges were that he was breaking glass. And at the last minute when the cops came in, he pulled a knife out in the kitchen. So how do you determine when the police can arrive if the initial call doesn't say he's got a gun, he's got a knife? What do you do? And then if it turns violent, if a person's there without the ability to stop him, what happens?
So I think there's a few things to say here. One is a lot of this is exactly the focus of the conversations that we're having internally in developing out this Department of Community Safety. Additionally, I want to make clear that a person experiencing a mental health episode does not always have to be served first or exclusively by a police officer. It is important for us to have all of the options available, and that's exactly what we're looking at. Thank you all so much.
Appropriately, Mr. Mayor, having seen the footage?